Wildfires are a growing risk for homeowners. Here are the states most in danger. Americans facing the toughest housing market in years aren't just facing high property prices and rising mortgage rates, they're also grappling with the risk of natural disasters, such as floods, tornadoes and, increasingly, wildfires. Fires are getting more intense and more frequent due to climate change, which is drying out vegetation and making fires more likely to spark and burn longer. Notably, that's also increasing the likelihood of wildfires in areas known for temperate and humid climates. As a result, Florida now has the third largest number of properties at risk for fire, after California and Texas, according to new data from the First Street Foundation. Today, 3.9 million properties in the state, or 4 in 10, face some risk of wildfire, according to First Street. California has the most properties with some wildfire risk, at 4.6 million, while Texas has 4.5 million, according to First Street. Nationwide, First Street's research shows about 26 million homes have at least some wildfire risk, a much greater number than has previously been reported. Other western states have a much higher portion of properties at risk of fire. In Wyoming and New Mexico, 2/3 of all properties have at least a moderate risk of fire. In Utah and Arizona, almost 60% do, and in Montana and Oklahoma about half do. First Street, which has quantified the effects of climate change and flooding on the nation's infrastructure, decided on a 1% risk over 30 years, the lifetime of a typical mortgage, as a meaningful floor to show the potential impact of fire damage. While far fewer homes are at risk of fire than other disasters, like flooding, the potential impact of fire is much more severe, said Jeremy Porter, First Street's chief research officer. If there's a fire that touches your property, then it's not that you're seeing $20,000 of damage, it's total destruction, Porter said. If there's a fire that touches your property, then it's not that you're seeing $20,000 of damage, it's total destruction. Realtor.com has assigned a wildfire risk score for every property on its site in the continental U.S., including those that aren't for sale, to educate homeowners and potential buyers, Brinton said. Eventually, the feature will also be available for rentals. The scores take into account the features of an individual building that make it more or less likely to burn, including the layout of the property, proximity of vegetation, building materials and even what type of windows a home has. Single-pane versus dual-pane windows are a big determinant of whether a house will burn in a wildfire, said Ed Kearns, Chief Data Officer at First Street. Features like metal screens on attic vents can also improve a house's ability to resist in a wildfire. Home buyers are increasingly concerned about the risk of natural disasters to their properties as climate change makes mudslides, floods and wildfires more frequent. A recent survey by Realtor.com and Harris found that more than 3 in 4 recent home buyers consider natural disasters when choosing where to buy a home.